We're here in the Philippines. We've just learned that 2024 was a great year for gaming, GGR. Some 15-20% growth on last year, I've been heard. People can correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of new casinos being built. We've seen a lot of innovation and changes in the industry, supported by the regulators, which is always good. So the Philippines is an exciting place to be for the next couple of years. So we're going to look at the future, explore some products, and see what these vendors here have got for you guys in the Philippines, and how they're going to drive that market. My name is Peter Johns, as mentioned. I've been in gaming a little over 20 years, a lot of that in Asia, maybe a little more somewhere else. I have an esteemed group of panelists here, very professional. Believe it or not, there's over 100 years of experience sitting on the stage here. I think mostly that end. But yeah, so that's pretty good. And as it's International Ladies Month, I think I'm very proud to be the panelist of the first females of the workshops and days. I haven't seen any females on stage, so it's really my pleasure to have two of my favorite females, Kylie and Maria. Welcome. In between those girls, Luigi.
Representing the millennials.
And, and on the end, David, to represent the operators. So this focus, like we said, will be on technology. We'll look at some innovation in the ETG and the smart tables. And we'll bring up some subjects which very experienced people here will put some insight, and later we'll go into some questions from the audience. So I'll start by going through the team members with Kylie, and you can introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, your company, and how you excel in the technology and innovation space.
Okay, hi everybody. My first time in 25 years on the stage, so bear with me. So Paltronic, I've been with Paltronic for 25 years, originally in the Australian market, now Australasian casinos. We have specialised in jackpot management systems. As most of you in the room would know, we are in every single IR there is in one way or another, either as a full jackpot management system or as a standalone jackpot controller. We have a unique situation. We actually are supplied directly to OEMs and also directly to the casinos. So a bit of a strange setup, but it's worked for us for 25 years. And things have changed for us recently because we have so many licenses in so many different jurisdictions. We are clearly offered a lot of product day in and day out. We really have stuck to our core business, which is the jackpot management system, for so long. We do have a media system that also connects to our jackpot systems and helps you manage content. So with all of these products that we've been offered over the years, when we were approached by our business partner, Genesis, out of Las Vegas, we decided to partner after seeing the product in the Las Vegas showroom. So this took about a couple of years, and we've been talking to customers here in Asia about the product for a couple of years. And I'm happy to say we're about to go live in the Philippines here very soon with our smart table, our version of the smart table, which I'll probably go into later a bit more. But that's the long and the short of it.
Thank you very much. Luigi, how would you do an introduction?
Fascinating stuff. So I've been in the gaming industry for about 13 years, mainly on the table side of the business. Obviously now I'm with Light & Wonder. Needs very little introduction at this point. I think just the versatility of the product offerings, right? Whether it's on the table side, ETGs, slots or systems, and just having that whole ecosystem, that strength, kind of what we represent. So yeah, I look forward to participating today. Happy to be here.
Thanks, Luigi. And Maria?
Hi, everyone. Mario. My name is Maria Garcia. I'm the Executive Director at Asia Pioneer Entertainment. So we are distributors in Macau. This year marks 20 years of the company, one of the only distributors in Macau. Our partners are Spintech, Jumbo, Konami, IDX. We have a repair center in Macau. We service products like Sega Sammy, Transact, and we are just about to enter the Philippine market now. Licensed in different jurisdictions like Philippines, Malaysia, Macau, Cyprus, and planning to enter Sri Lanka and different locations in Asia. I'm very happy to be in this panel. I think that Peter didn't mention that all of us combined have over 100 years of experience, mostly on the two sides of this panel. Myself, I have 19 years as well, so I'm going to pass the microphone to David.
Yeah, my name's David Lawrence. I've been in the gaming business for 42 years, so I'm definitely the winner of that one, I think. So I've been working in Asia mainly as table games, originally in Macau and then Singapore, and I've been working in the Philippines since 2015 as a general manager. Currently, I'm working for a company called Dragon Royale, who's an investment company specifically set up for gaming.
Great, thanks. So we'll just jump straight into it. We'll start with ETGs as a section. We've got some experience both from your operators and from the panelists. So ETGs obviously are the electronic version of a real table game. Traditionally, they've been without a dealer, but there's more and more hybrid products come in the market where one dealer deals to many terminals. You know, they save money for the casino, I'm assuming, in staff costs, chipless play, hygiene. They've got lots of benefits and stuff. And in different markets, they've grown bigger, depending on the Asian region especially. They feature really big in some markets, but they're sort of new and emerging in other markets. And they're done from a variety of vendors, I guess. So I'm going to turn around to start with you, Maria, I guess. Tell me more about, you know, Spintech. You represent Spintech. They're a big ETG. Not only one of the biggest, I believe, in sort of out of Europe, but apparently the best in Asia, according to the trophy you won last night. So tell us a bit more about Spintech and what they have.
Okay, so we basically, Spintech is a company from Slovenia. They do have more than 10,000 installations worldwide, present in over 51 countries at the moment. In terms of electronic table gaming machines, this is what their company does. That's it. They only manufacture electronic table gaming machines, which includes roulettes, craps, SIGBO, standalone units, stadium units, live dealer solutions. So everything that you currently see in the offerings around Asia, Macau, they offer those kinds of solutions. So we are their partners in Macau for over a decade now. We've installed over almost 2,000 machines in Macau. Basically, roulettes are the top providers there. And now the standalone units are growing significantly.
So what makes, I know your roulette is one of the top performers in Macau. What makes it so special, I guess? Why is it different between the other vendors that they have in Macau as far as ETGs stand and your performance-wise? What do you do differently in Spintech?
I think that the company has put a lot of focus on players and the demands from the players. They have also paid a lot of attention to the regulators' comments and all the compliance that is required for the markets, the toughest jurisdictions in the world, I would say. And they do a lot of player focus on the comfort of the player, longer gaming sessions, and they're very quick to adapt to different markets and needs from the different operators.
And you do a lot of features. I know roulette, you've got a lot of the multiplier features and jackpots that you add to your system as well. That is popular. Is that a popular sort of feature that's driving the success, or
in Macau, not.
Not, but it's
because in Macau, the jurisdiction actually, we have to create tables and gaming solutions that are more identical to the real table games, like a mirror to the table games. So the operators there are very hesitant on placing different payouts on products that are not identical to the table solutions. So that's not what drives their success.
But is that a feature you're bringing to the middle market? Is that something that's going to be focused?
That's a feature that we have brought into other markets, and so different multipliers and different bonus features. We even have jackpots on the, like many other manufacturers have, not only SpinTech, I believe, that have also evolved and contributed to make ETGs more successful and more attractive to the players, and how they shifted to not replace, but to allow operators to consider this as an option to minimize staff hiring, for example, unlimited seats, for example, for solutions. So those are factors that contribute to their presence.
Luigi, you've got a lot of experience in table side, but in the ETG side with Light & Wonder. Light & Wonder obviously world renowned for slot machines in the past. I know you do have an ETG solution. I haven't seen it in the Philippine market yet, but it's something you're bringing to the Philippines. Is it?
Absolutely. Look, there's obviously Light & Wonder on that ETG space has been one of the early innovators in terms of ETG, as a product. There's a big focus for us, with Singapore. We have a lot of stadium-style terminals there. And kind of it sells itself just from a product offering standpoint with a huge game library of different games, familiar games, whether it's Baccarat, Roulette, Sigbo, and obviously the ability for us to create custom games, RWS, MBS, kind of that environment. Philippines is certainly a market that we are trying to look at. Coming from the table side, we see a lot of, I would say, difference in how players would play games here. The other night, I was in Soler, I was on the Sigbo tables. Coming from Macau, you would play a lot on the big and small, a lot of slow-paced games. But I noticed here, people would come, locals especially, would just really bet on the jackpots. Well, not jackpots, but like the high odds, specific totals. So the way they play is completely different. But if you look at the ETG offerings, whether it's on the stadium, it's still very similar to the other markets. So I feel you can see there's a lot of adjustments that could be done to optimize the player experience. And as of today, we really don't see anyone ahead of that space yet, so there's a lot of room to explore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. David, you're an operator, you've had experience with probably ETGs. Do you see that being a growth segment in the Philippines, getting different? I mean, if the market at the moment is kind of mixed. I see different products in throughout the casinos around town. How's your thoughts on ETGs as an operator?
No, I mean, definitely ETGs are popular in the Philippines, and we're seeing different manufacturers offer a different variety of games, and side bets in the Philippines traditionally are very popular. Even on live table games, it's a popular option. They just like that. And I think, it does cater to the lower end market in general. But what we're seeing also in the Philippines, that players who are betting relatively large bets also prefer ETGs because they're not being bothered by anyone else when they're playing those games. So we see growth, and we also can see the transition to online from ETGs as well. And I know a lot of these suppliers are looking at that as well.
Okay, cool. And the stadium sort of, I guess the stadium styles like in Macau where they're bigger, is that more of a growth, or is it more of the podium sort of total ETGs? I mean, what is the market looking like to be in the next couple of years? I mean,
well I think one example I'll give, if you go to COD, they have their stadium upstairs, but downstairs they have individual machines around the pillars there. I think in the Philippine market, stadium is not as popular as other places. What we find is the most popular game is the roulette games, because I think it's a community spirit when they're playing these games, and the wheel is very close to them. So they feel that connection, you know, with as the ball's dropping. And I would say probably double revenue on the roulette games than the stadium in the Philippines, for sure.
Okay, well, certainly there's a lot of technology obviously available to the ETGs. Like you said, they're full-metered products, they're not sort of tables, so you can sort of do a lot of jackpotting, bonuses, features, and I'm quite excited to see how that market grows here.
With Paltronics.
Paltronics too, you could add those jackpots. So moving on for that, I guess looking at the sort of the technology in ETGs to tables, which have traditionally been quite manually sort of non-smart, to the smarter tables, RFID, computer vision, AI, all those products are coming into the market. How do you see that as a focus going forward? I know a few operators are slowly rolling out RFID in town, same in Macau. Mainly in Macau, it seems to be driven by the regulator, and it's more on efficiencies. I want to know how you see the benefits of that from a player point of view, and moving forward, what would be the benefits from an operator?
Well, I think from an operator's point of view, I think smart tables, eventually I believe the Philippine regulator will require some kind of smart table. So I think most operators definitely have to look at that. Dragon Royale is involved in new builds and new projects. So we're in the perfect position to install smart tables. I think why the rollout is slow for integrated resorts particularly is because maybe new chips, new tables, new technologies on their tables. So that's quite an expensive exercise.
Expensive getting out. Kylie, you, Genesis and Bravo are in the RFID technology. Would you like to elaborate on sort of products or what do you do?
I'd like to start by saying this is, again, a new area for me, coming from a slots background. But we are a little different to what you know at the moment, the RFID tables that are here in the market. We have what we call a vertical hybrid technology. So we have the standard RFID with an internal vertical antenna, which allows us to give 100% accurate readings on roulette, on Sigbo, as well as Baccarat, Blackjack, and all your other carnival games. So this particular system is currently linked, the table management system side is linked to 8,000 tables in the US at the moment. And as everybody's jumping on the smart table bandwagon, we are adding tables to each market. The good thing about it is we're also quite flexible. We have the RFID, but you know, somebody like yourself that has your camera system, the customer may want your camera system and our RFID table, where we will look at that. So the feedback we've been getting off the customers over the last 12 months, a lot of the comments we've been getting is, where were you, 12 months ago? And that's because of the accuracy and the ability to do the roulettes and the Sigbos. But it's a proven table management system. We also have poker, which is like what they call the gold poker in the US. So we have a lot of products, but look, it comes down to accuracy.
Yeah.
If you're the most accurate, why wouldn't they?
And certainly RFID is a great software or hardware to manage assets. It's been a long time, it's very stable. And I did like your roulette when I looked at that last time with the stacking, and computer vision is great. Computer vision is great at doing chip recognition in simple bets, but roulette does get complicated if you're stacking round boxes.
Look, we've tested to 70 chips high, but we do recommend stay around that 50 to 60, but we're comfortable at 70, which, I hope you have a player putting 70 chips on your roulette table. May not be necessary, but it's accurate.
I don't know about you, David, but I remember 5 cents roulette at the Vic in London, where we used to have Chinese stacking chips this high.
That's true.
Back in the 80s. Back in the day. Okay. I mean, do you see computer vision being an asset to an RFID table as far as facial recognition?
Absolutely.
Facial recognition and.
It all depends on the operator. Some people find it an overkill. Certainly in the Asian markets, it's please give us both in a lot of cases. Not so much in the US. Europe, again, it's a bit hit and miss, but here it is very much the topic of conversation about having both ends. So.
And David, smart technology on tables is a feature we just discussed before, but cameras seem to be very prevalent in the casino resorts. I notice you take a picture when you walk in, and obviously helps security. Having that integrated in a resort is a benefit for you guys for a marketing or player point, or more from security point? How do you see that technology?
I think both, and certainly smart tables. I'm a purist, so I've been in the business a long time. When I started out as a dealer, you took pride in that skill of calculating the bets, etc. But now we have AI, now we have facial recognition and smart tables. As an operator, you have to accept it's better for your business, and actually not just the operator, for the player, because we get the productivity on the game, but the player gets paid quicker as well. So it benefits both sides as well. And I think with that data is a lot of value for ratings, etc. as well.
Luigi or Maria,
Yeah,
sorry. You've got
a lot of
anything to add on that as far as smart tables you've had some
He has
experience?
more table experience
very
than I do.
interesting stuff. Obviously, hearing from an operator perspective, there's a lot of problems that they have. Obviously, you have a lot of technologies in place. They're coming from different places, like whether it's AI, camera, RFID. Obviously, with the ETG space, that's kind of where the problem is. If you look at Macau, obviously with the junket market, not the same as it was. And there's a big focus now on the mass market. There's almost like a technological arms race happening between the different operators. The problem is the question, how do we create an ecosystem of technology where it makes sense for the players and for us? How do we unify them, right? So, with Light & Wonder, that's also a space we are trying to enter on the table, the smart table space, with a product called Lumens, which we will be unveiling very soon to the public. The advantage there is with our product versatility, there is a potential to answer that question, how do you build a coherent ecosystem that makes sense for the players? Yeah.
And it's good you mentioned players, because to me they've always been the most important side. So
Correct.
from our point of view, from IDX, we're there to try and engage or see value from a player's point of view. And I want to see how technology and innovation from other vendors is catering that, because it'd be great to grow the revenue from technology and innovation side, whether that's features, bonuses, jackpots, or other types of features. And it'd be good to see what is coming from the industry as a whole to the new operators of tomorrow, and how casinos will adopt that technology or how fast they'll adopt it. So anything to add on that, Maria? Have you got anything to say, or you want to move on?
Yes, so adding to that, so Peter, of course, is our partner, and I think that the solution that they also provide for the operators, which in my personal view, the shift from table games, which was previously very traditional, where, okay, Baccarat is just player and banker, and you had the monitor to show a normal trend board. And then the electronic table games took some years to appear. And electronic table games had more offerings than the table games. And now then it went backwards. And the table games think that they have to rely on it, digitalized solutions to enhance the experience for the table game players. So it's been going around in circles, like table games also use digitalized solutions to enhance in all aspects the player experience, the operators' convenience, data extracting, their behavior. So all of these contributes to the overall casino experience, in my opinion.
I guess looking at the challenges for operators and vendors as such, but you can all comment on this one, is how do you think is it easy to sort of get the casinos to buy into this new technology, or are some slower than others? Is it just the new casinos that are focusing on the new technology, or the old ones converting up their old legacy systems? How do you finding the feedback
Yeah.
when you try and sell the systems?
Look, I think, whether new or old, I think there is a consistent change in mindsets. You see, especially in Macau, wallets are shrinking, whether it's new markets coming in, younger generation, or basically heavier regulations from the Chinese government. So we look at operators, they've always looked at table games and the ETG almost like as two different products. But what we are seeing now is there's actually a realignment happening. How do we actually integrate these two products to give a more cohesive player experience? It's not just table games and ETG. It's kind of both. Although what we want to see from for the operators is obviously like internally there needs to be some sort of strategy to combine both together. Currently, what happens is we kind of deal with different teams. The strategy is not exactly aligned. Like if you get players in the ETG space, what is your ultimate goal 10 years from now? Do you want to somehow graduate them to the table experience at some point? Those are the questions that we want to answer. Because technology is technology. We can create all kinds of seamless connections, but if the end point, which is the player experience, is not clearly defined, then it becomes, technology project, right? It's lack of focus. Right?
One of the things that really impressed me, one of the operators in Asia at one stage swapped their slot director and their table director for a period of time. And it's happened in a few now. And a lot of people were negative about it to start with. But I think it was a really good idea to get a different perspective and come back together and look at the property as a whole, not just I'm the slot guy, you're the table guy. And I know you've come across this yourself being a slot operator, but I think that's genius.
Yeah.
It really does. It makes them, as the operator, love their floor, not just their department, a little more.
Quite good. One of the things that gets me when I see, I'm going to harp on the bonus games and the different multipliers that I've seen on roulette. I love roulette as a player. I've played it for years. And I go to places. Now, when I see a 000 roulette, I think, wow, no chance. Mugs game. But now I see multipliers which seem attractive, but then I see the base bet going down from 30 to 25 to 22 in some places online, and I'm not too sure if it's hit the main casino. How do you find roulette players, new players, is it a new market that don't care about that, or original old players that go, I'm used to get 35 to 1, now you're paying me 25 and I don't care because I might get a multiplier once every 50 hands? I'm not sure how that is taken.
In my opinion, in the Philippine market, that wouldn't work so well because they're used to the actual odds. If there's a progressive or some kind of bonus, it should come separately.
Right, okay.
And actually, if I may step in, usually ETG manufacturers, when they have different payouts, the players are informed of it. So they can actually choose which type of payout they want to play.
Okay.
So if they are going to play a version that actually pays more with multipliers, a chance to win like 100 times what they bet, then obviously when they choose that version, the normal payout is lower, which means for the operator himself, the hold is higher. Right. So there's always an option because of responsible gaming and because we go through so many compliant and different jurisdictions that the regulators say you have to make sure the player knows that he's about to play a game that has lower payouts.
And that's easy on ETG. You've had some experience of that on a live table sort of switch. Multipliers were done in your last company?
Yeah, look, there's people have done quad zeros. They were able to bring the payout back to 35 and play a bit more with the multiplier options. So it is definitely possible. What we have seen, I think I've seen some games in Singapore where they have tried to put on a similar concept. It does not work if your payout odds are like what you said, 28 to 1, 29 to 1. It needs to be, the straight up bets needs to be very close to, I would say, the spirit of roulette as a game. So it's a hit or miss. But from what we have seen so far, it's a miss. Yeah. So that's the challenge.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
I mean, I like bonuses, I like jackpots, and I'll play side bets till the cows come home because, I can't afford to win one-to-one. I'm not betting $1 million in a hand of baccarat. But yeah, I see them as, if it's an added extra, I could bet and take advantage of extra side bets, whether there's a jackpot or not. I'm quite prepared to pay for that. But if it rapes my base game, I'm a bit upset as a player. So
Exactly.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
So there's some challenges there when those kind of features start coming
Keep
to
the
casinos.
base game the same,
Yeah.
and then the added on.
So,
multipliers.
we have as far as I can see, technology is all about collaboration and integration between vendors. I know that we, profess that we have an open platform. We'll integrate with most people. And I think that's the way that the operator's going to get the best value out of stuff when he starts to collaborate, integrate, innovation that way. I see that as a big bonus going forward for operators. They get the best out of it. They can differentiate when they get the best of both platforms. No one person should own that whole technology device and say, we're in charge of all this, and if they've got it, you can't have it because you've got our system. Are you calling in agreement to that from an operator's and from a vendor's point of view? More open collaboration is the way to go?
Yeah, I think that's a very good point, Peter. I think even Light and Wonder, with IDX, I think there's some collaboration there. There are advantages in specializing in a particular product, and from an operator point of view, you really get the best bang for your buck in terms of how do I maximize this area of the business, right? So I'm sure David has more unique input in.
No, I think, previously a lot of the products that are sold, what you buy is what you get. I think a lot of suppliers now are customizing or allowing flexibility with the product so that each operator can decide themselves what do they want or what do they think is best for their players.
And then in my opinion, like when you combine forces, like you are strong in animations, we are strong in something else, for example, and you combine forces and sell a product as a whole, it also benefits not only both manufacturers but the operator themselves. And at the end, the target is to give a better experience to the player. So I'm totally think that collaboration is a way to go as well.
Okay.
Same with our partner Genesis in the US. They are partners with Light and Wonder and a lot of the other manufacturers over there. So rolling into here is very easy because the table management systems speak together, or with the slot system, it's a friendly, which is nice for the customer.
That's good, yeah.
No, I'd just say that from an operator's point of view, in the past, integration was very difficult. That's changing very quickly. We're working with several different suppliers, and they will integrate with their other suppliers as well. There's no problem with that, whereas in the past, we didn't see that being a cooperation.
I think the question is coming up very early now, though. So before they purchase a system, the first question is, what will you do for me? Before I purchase your system, if I'm interested in this, this, and this, will you play? And you have to be honest, because the time is going to come where you're going to integrate or not. And that is making people now integrate as well, because there is no mucking around. You have to play nice.
Yeah. And I think from a vendor's point of view, we have the contracts in place. We don't pinch each other's IP. We're trustful and we get along. It's a give and take. I think it's not like you've got an Apple, I've got a Samsung. It's one platform, which is, from an operator's point of view, gives you the best value, and you can then differentiate that product to your players and get the value for you. And it's not horses for courses. A casino in Manila is probably different from a casino in regional Philippines or in Clark. You probably have different customer base. So that's good. It's good to hear. I'm going to open up to questions from the audience. If anyone's got any questions they want to throw up to the 150 years we've got on the panel.
Look, it's late.
You added 50 there. You started with 100.
Any? Knock that one
There's
in.
some operators at the front row.
Yeah, there's a microphone
Mr.
just here. Just come down.
Mr. Tim Gilbert.
Introduce yourself and throw that question up.
If you love me, you won't.
Turn it on first then.
Okay, that's all right.
I can't see, so the lights are very bright up here, so it's very good.
Thank you. Yeah, my question is, out of the existing table game systems, what is the level of accuracy that we are approaching right now? Like I know we have Walker Digital, we have some others that use computer vision and all of those kinds of systems.
You're talking a smart table technology?
Smart
like that?
tables,
Okay.
yeah.
So it was, what was the level of accuracy in smart table as far as chips go? So
If I said 100%, you wouldn't believe me.
No, I wouldn't.
But we have proven that. You know, I think one of the tests that Genesis did was the accuracy was just beyond anybody's belief. But they went into a casino and secretly put their system in beside a table with no system, and there was a $7 million difference. $7 million. So I want to say this, if something's even not 100% accurate, if you're getting numbers like that, it's worth spending the money.
you've got to understand that tables in the past don't measure the efficiency of a game. They measure the drop, and they measure, you know, that's the hold on the drop in traditional terms. Maybe somebody's got a clicker in the old days, but at least with some kind of measurement in smart tables, whether that's computer vision or RFID, you are getting measurements which you can then say, hey, these bets are not, you know, efficient. I can efficientize the table and
More like a slot machine.
Something is better than nothing. If it's 95%, 98% up, I think it's better than getting nothing at all. So,
Yeah, because I
I'm
mean,
sticking with 100%, by the way.
sorry.
No, I think from an operator's
On the
point,
Genesis system. Sorry, Dave.
no, from an operator's point of view, I think if you just take one dynamic, which is ratings, we know for a fact the manual way of doing it, the accuracy is very, very vague. And we know some of the ratings are 30% when we analyse it. With smart tables, even if it's 98%, that's okay with us because it's only 2% variance. So for us, even that dynamic is a big value, plus productivity as well.
yeah, so there are, you know, I mean, why do we have smart tables? One is providing, reducing dealer errors, and in a large casino that can be quite problematic. Number two, rating the players accurately. So, thus far, all the research that has appeared with regards to player ratings indicates that we overcompensate the players, not undercompensate. So that would save a lot of money. And third and most important, as far as I'm concerned, is to be able to identify players who do not have a player's card. That way we can still reward them. That would be the third one. And fourth one would be to prevent players who have been banned or excluded from the tables. So there are 4 or 5 different objectives with regards to this. And then I think that the accuracy, when we talk about the accuracy, it should be rated proportionately in terms of how important each of these criteria are to the management of the casino.
Yeah, I'll jump in there. I mean, facial recognition from cameras, we had a facial recognition system, is accurate. We had chips accuracy down to 99 plus. On faces, it's even easier and it's simple, and we didn't even have to write the program. Amazon, Google, they have the biggest database in the world. Their accuracy is scary in the fact that you could put a camera up here and it would probably name 99% of the people in this room. And that's because your faces are all over the cloud out there. So facial recognition and tying that into blacklists or VIP lists is a very easy technology to deploy and a very low cost on cameras. So the accuracy is pretty good on that. So I think that's pretty good. Are there any more questions? I know we're sort of running still in about 38 minutes here on my watch, but so it's 2 minutes left of tables. We did start later, but 40 minutes is going. Any more questions for the guys up here? Or we'll wrap it up by just going a quick overview. Where do you see the future? What is your hopes or wishes for the future in the next 5 years? And I'll come down the list from David.
No, from an operator's point of view, I think we must embrace more technology. Whether it's in ratings, using the cloud, AI, we should embrace everything because it doesn't just benefit us, it benefits the player as well.
Maria, where do you want to be in 5 years? Don't say on a beach.
I see a very bright future. I think that before the casinos didn't have that much competition. So right now, those that, walk 2 more steps ahead, they have advantage because players are also, the demographics of the players are also changing. They're younger crowd, people that really look into technology, innovation, attracted to different types of products. And I think all of the operators are learning that they have to adapt to these changes and that their competitors are doing the same. So they will go towards a more innovative approach.
Cool.
Yeah, very similar. I think you've said that really, really good. Demographics are changing. We are seeing, players that are highly informed when it comes to technology. If you can do things seamlessly, 3 steps, you can do it in 1 step. They are tuned to that space, right? You can see maybe attention span is also reducing a little bit. So you have to be very, very mindful in the experience that you give them. Personally, I cannot watch a YouTube video if it has to load for 5 seconds. I just can't. I'm sorry.
The Gen Z and Gen Y generation, and I think that's important for most casino operators. I have Gen Z sons, and I know that their attention span and technology, and when they walk into a casino now, they're like, oh my God, this is so boring. Nothing's attracting them because they're used to the visual or the interactive technology, and it's not there. They just go, boring. I'd rather play online. So I think land-based casinos need to embrace that technology. And if there's a takeout from here, it's innovation, collaboration, and that's a path forward and differentiate from customers and from the operators. Kylie, any last words?
I say listen to the younger generation, what they want. Ask them the question. Just don't think we know, because we don't know. I mean, I've got a 17 and a 15-year-old. I don't know what they're thinking 1 minute to the next. So ask the question. And 5 years from now, I better be bloody retired.
Good. Let's all retire.
I'll still be here visiting. No. I'm
Only
actually too
Luigi
excited
will
now.
be left.
You'll be here.
He's our future, our future.
Okay, that was dead on the 40 minutes. So thank you very much to the panelists. Thank you to the audience and your questions. I hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks,
It was
guys.
informative.